All right, welcome back to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. It's your favorite podcast host, Ken Clark. Today we got a special guest joining me today. As we continue our preseason All-SWAC series, we got another JSU Tiger from that list. And we call him, he go by the title of the nation's best kick returner, right? Now he
Yes,
also
sir.
played
Yes, sir.
cornerback. We got him in the building, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zay Bolden. What's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh, you got it, man. Welcome to Tiger Talk. How's it going, man? How's everything in the Jack right now?
Man, everything's good. We working, ready for camp to start and ready to kick it off September 4th.
September 4th, man. First game back in your home state. FAMU, the Rattlers, they've been talking smack, man. They say we lucked up and escaped the victory, that 7-6 victory last year. I say we let them off the hook, man. But this year, it's gonna be a little different, man. What you think?
Oh, it's gonna be a lot different. I feel like we left a lot of points on the board. I watch that game every day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can tell me any play, I can tell you what happened. But I felt like we left a lot of points out there. And we a lot ready, more experienced team this year than last year. But we just going working every day, and we gonna let it our work show for it September 4th.
That's right. So, being from, I know you from, was it Zephyr Hills, Tampa, basically.
Yeah.
You got any friends or family that plays for the Rattlers over there?
I had a couple of homeboys that I met when I was at Florida State that play at FAMU.
Yeah.
I know a couple of guys transferred there. Pretty much that's it. That aspect of it.
Yeah. I was gonna mention that. I know you started off at Florida State and jumped in the portal, became a JSU Tiger, and we've been excited about it ever since. How's that transition been for you since you left Florida State and come to Jackson? I know you one season under your belt, but going into your second season as a Tiger.
At first the transition was tough. I know when I first got to Jackson, we got hit with a snowstorm, and I'm from Florida, so I'm not used to all that. You know what I'm saying? But it's been great. The transition's been great. It's great to see how much has changed in a short period of time, and that's just a kudos to Coach Prime. Putting all the hard work in.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I remember that. That was and for those of our listeners and those that are watching, if you hadn't had a chance, you can go into season 1 of Coach Prime, man. He kind of showed a little behind the scenes. Hey, listen, I'm from Jackson, born and raised, and it get cold, but see, that was a little different, bro. That was real different. And being in Texas, if you heard anything about what was going on in Texas, I mean, it got even uglier, man. So
Yeah.
I remember when the spring season kicked off, just trying to get from Texas to Jackson was just a nightmare, man. On the highway, all the highways were frozen up, but we got through all of that. We went through a full season, had a pretty historic season that we just passed in 2021. We'll delve into a little bit of that, but before we get into the season, for our listeners, for those that we always like to get your classification, school first. What's your classification? How many years of football you got left, including this upcoming season?
I got one more year left. I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate. In sociology, that's my degree.
Oh wow, sociology. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'll pause on what you want to do after football. But so my question, so this is your last year of football?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course, I got if I wanted to come back, I got a COVID year. But as of right now,
it's your money year.
Yeah,
it's your money year. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking we had you for a couple more seasons, but yeah, if you go ball out, which I expect you to, we'll get a little deeper into why I think so. But you got to cash out on that opportunity if it presents itself, man.
Right.
And especially now with, it was just the NFL. I was get your take real quick since it just popped in my head. Now you got other leagues where you get opportunities like the XFL that was just on the campus of Jackson State, as well as the USFL. Your previous teammate, Antoine Owens, playing for the Philadelphia Stars this past spring season and got to the championship game, came up a little short. What's your take on those additional leagues? Because now we're seeing some of the players that balled out in the USFL, they just signed NFL contracts.
Yep.
So it should be a lot encouraging for someone like yourself that's playing in college right now, getting ready to transition into that professional side of that. What's your take on that?
That's major. Love to see all these different type of leagues, XFL, USFL. Dang, that's a tongue twister. And NFL. So and then you got the Canadian League too. So it's a lot of opportunities.
No doubt.
You can make your money with your abilities. So that's a great thing. It's a blessing in disguise.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned the CFL, man. I apologize to the Pocket Rocket, man, Warren Newman. I know
Yeah.
he went over to the Montreal Alouettes and he was had an opportunity try to keep up with some of his games this year. If you haven't had a chance, be sure to check him out. I'm sure you got some highlights on YouTube or some of these other platforms where you can pick up Newman, man. I was happy for him, and like you said, so 4 leagues. Did you get a chance to participate in any of the activities with The Rock and Danny Garcia and the crew that came to Jackson for the HBCU showcase?
Nah, only thing I participated in was our junior day back in the spring.
Okay, okay. All good, all good. So back to you, back to you. So you say you're studying in sociology. So talk to us a little bit about how is that going to translate in for those of us that might have done business or might have done liberal arts or whatever the case may be? What's the end goal for Isaiah Bolden outside of
The
football?
end goal is for me just to help the community, help people in general, be a therapist, be a teacher,
Mm.
be a life coach in that direction. If, of course, if football doesn't go well or if my sports analyst career doesn't go well either. So that's my main thing, is to make a difference for people.
I think it'll go well, man. I think you can do the sky's the limit. With technology these days, you can do all of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's very admirable of you because that's something that's near and dear to my heart. I would just say from an African American standpoint, I think therapy is something that us as a community we should take a lot more
I
serious.
agree.
I've been to therapy, and many of us have been through a lot. And I mean, especially on the HBCU campus, you can be around a predominant, African American student base. I think it's important that we have those conversations. It's always been stigmatized, but I think a lot of the issues that we may face as a people, you can alleviate some of those if you know, pursue opportunities for therapy. And so that's very admirable of you, man. Shout out to you for that.
Yes, sir.
I like that, man. I like that. So, all right, man. You get we got SWAC Media Day roll around, and you get the preseason All-SWAC team. I know you expected to see your name. But I still got to ask you though, how does it feel to see your name, added to that list just as a kick returner? I know you're gonna be on that list at the postseason as a DB and kick
Yeah, no
returner,
doubt.
but I wanted to get your take on how you felt about that.
I felt good, but at the same time, like you mentioned, it really put a target on my back, and it also gave me some, momentum. You feel me? I feel like I got to keep going, and at the same time, me personally, I feel like I've been disrespected as a DB. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that just added a little extra to me.
Yeah,
So that's my main thing coming in this year. Really, just put the SWAC on notice and put everybody on notice that I'm one of the top DBs, not only in the SWAC but in the nation. So that was my main thing. Seeing that list, I knew it was gonna be a returner. Like I said, I stand on that. I'm the best returner in the nation. I mean, we can argue numbers, we can argue anything. That's what I do. But
yeah.
seeing that list, I was like, give me some motivation I want to be on a DB and a return specialist. So that's my main thing this year.
No doubt about it, man. Well, since I got you on here and I'm the one who put the tweet out there, I'm gonna officially apologize. I know I said it. I said, man, Isaiah Bolden, top kick return in the FCS, and he replied in the
Yeah,
country. Like, get that
yeah,
straight. I was like, yes, sir. I got you, brother. So that's why I made sure I put that out
yeah.
there, man. But numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Famous Jay-Z quote. But let's talk about it. From your kick return statistics, you averaged a nation's best 36. What's it say? 37, 36.9 yards per return, 37 yards per return. And that's outstanding, man. Because every time we felt like if they kicked the ball to you, you got a chance to take
Yeah,
it to the
yeah.
house. That's what we think. That's what we feel. Speak a little bit about that, man. What is it about kick returning that makes you so special, man? And such I would say a Swiss Army knife back there, man.
First off, I gotta, get a shout out to the guys that's blocking me first. That's just get out of the way. They block their tails off for me to
Facts.
score. But secondly, that's my thing. My favorite player was Coach Prom, my dad, and Devin Hester. So those three guys I always watch. Devin Hester's why I rock 23. That's my guy. I watch his college tape before I go to sleep every night.
Wow.
That's my guy. Me and him last year at the Orange Boston Classic was one of the greatest days I've ever had. And just
That was
yeah,
special,
and
man.
just studying tape. Just studying him, different returners like River McLeod. He's from my city. Just different
Right.
returners. I study them, and I just to me, that's something I like. You know, I feel like that's something that can help me gain an edge than other people, you know, that's trying to get to the league. Special team is key. That was taught to me that if you want to make it to the league, you got to play special team. So I take that serious as I play DB.
Absolutely. I tell you what, man, one of the best college films you could ever watch and take a look at, man, Devin Hester, your idol. And I know somebody that wish they could have been on the show with you. He's part of the podcast crew. I'm always saying Zoe DeLorean, my right-hand partner in crime. He's a Chicago Bears fan. He wanted me to make sure he told you that, you know, he already knew Devin Hester. That's who you remind him of. And he said he know that's your favorite player. He would have loved to have chopped it up with you. So I'm glad you said that. So shout out to Zoe. I know he's going to tune in, and that's going to make him smile, man. So he's a Chicago Bears fan. I'm a Raiders fan, but nevertheless, we're gonna keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving. But speaking of that, let's talk about it, man. You in the SWAC Championship game. And I've watched this clip. I probably have given that video, that highlight film, probably 15 views myself. A lot of times, and I'm going to tell you why I go to that clip when you ran the kick return back in the SWAC Championship game. So I'm a lifer, born and raised in Jackson. Jack State football is everything to us, right? We go to the vet. I was born in the vet, man. Seeing the vet packed out since the 80s has been just kind of, it's been what we grew up off of, right? Jack State was our NFL team. It was our everything. But, man, seeing you hear Tiffany Green, Jay Walker talking, and then you saw the whole. You once you got past that first man, you could tell the crowd started picking up the momentum, and then you basically hit the sideline. You had the little guy almost trip you a little bit. But this is the thing I wanted to mention. This is why I brought that up. Because every time I watched that, you know who annoyed me on that? The freaking referee.
Man, I know, right?
Because when you scored, you did your dance, man. But I said either he knew the referee was coming, because you got it in real quick, and then you took off. But he was running full speed. He was about to tell you, stop celebrating, you know. I don't get why the refs won't just let you have at least a couple seconds, man. What you think, man?
Yeah, I felt them coming. I felt them coming. I was like, I got to get it in real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that was definitely a special. I thought that was a game-changing moment. I mean, we got the momentum in the SWAC championship game, and at that point, we never looked back. I also feel like when we fast forward to the next game, Celebration Bowl, like I said, we came up a little short in the Celebration Bowl. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm going to take Coach Prime's approach. Flushed it. 2022 is over with, and moving right along. But one of the things I thought the coaching staff at South Carolina State did a good job of, they wouldn't let you run. They wouldn't let you return it, man. It's like they went into their game knowing that we cannot let 23 get the ball, and and I thought that was a good strategy. So do you expect to see? So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this way. How do you adjust if you feel like more coaches take that approach with you from a standpoint of like not allowing you to get the kick? Because some of them might say, you know what, let's just kick it out of bounds and let them get it at the 35-yard line?
Yeah, something like that.
Or the 40? Yeah, something like that. But I think it's the 35-yard line. I mean, if you don't trust your special teams, that might be a good strategy. I'm not putting it out in the atmosphere. I hope they give you the ball. But how do you adjust if that is the case?
Obviously, Coach Ricard, you know, me and him talk about all the time. You know, that's expected coming in this year. What happens if they don't kick it to me? I'm not going to give too much in, but we got a couple of ideas in mind.
Don't disclose too much. I just wanted to get your thought process. We don't want to get it, because we know the enemy be looking now. They tune in too.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that whole game, I was really, I don't know, I got a personal foul. I was so frustrated that game, just not getting the ball in my hands. But we gonna work on that. Yeah.
I remember that you did get a personal foul. I'm since you say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that now. You know, I never went back. I've never rewatched the Celebration Bowl. I won't look at it. I won't do it to myself, man. I sat right there. It was too painful, man. I already knew when that game was over with what was gonna come, because I did a lot of smack talking, man. I did a lot of pre-shows, and I stand on it, you know. But when they won, and you know, they still talking today, you know. But like I told them, there's a shelf life on that game, man. It's 2022 now. Do it again. Now, if we don't see them in the Celebration Bowl again this year, we'll see them in Atlanta, first game of the season for the SWAC MEAC Challenge in 2023. So for those that don't know, Jack State will face South Carolina State, first game of the season, next season in Atlanta, SWAC MEAC Challenge. But moving right along, man. So we know last season we mostly saw you at kick return, right? So, but we noticed during this blue and white spring game You was with the Warrens. You starting at DB, what you said, you one of the top DBs, and you feel that way. And I also, I think so as well. That was one of the things when you transferred into us. We go, Zoe and I have been recruiting guys. We watched a lot of film, and we expected that from you. But we noticed you kind of line up in the nickel. I wasn't expecting to see that, man. Is I ain't saying you don't have to give us too much, but the film is out there and we watched it. I was like, man, Zay in the nickel, man. I like that. I like the idea of that. But I wanted to get your take on, where do you like to be when you're playing DB? Nickel,
I ain't gonna lie,
outside.
me personally, I'm really enjoying a nickel because I'm moving around, doing different things. And I feel like the main thing with me, I'm real versatile. I can play outside, inside, safety. So you're gonna really kind of see a lot of that, from me this year. This versatility.
That's good. That's good. I think versatile is the word we've used a lot because we did see you some at safety. And, it's cool. But speaking of the cornerback, you got a new teammate. Got 5-star Travis Hunter come in, that joined you guys. How's it been? How's that transition been? Have you roughed him up, give him a little freshman love? How's that been, with the transition of Travis in the offseason?
Funny thing is, I knew Travis from when I was at Florida State. I recruited him to Florida State. So we and him always had a little
that is right.
Bond, But Travis, he been doing his thing.
Wow.
I really haven't been giving him no like leadership, not leadership, but like brother love here and there. He comes in every day. He works. If he works hard, I got nothing to tell him. We all know what Travis is. He's that it factor. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much he just keep him level headed.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. Great dude. He loves his teammates. Love the DBs. We a real tight group. So nothing much I really tell him. We just all work.
I like that. Can we say Jackson State is DBU?
Yeah, we can say that.
Can we say it?
I mean, that's the thing though. Coach Mathis, we take pride in that. We don't. No disrespect. We don't want to be named as the best DB group in the SWAC and FCS. Like I said, no disrespect to nobody, but where we want to go at to be that next level, we want to be the best DB group. Period. And we work on that every day. We grind, not only against the SWAC, but other dudes we don't see. You know what I'm saying, to that next level. So that's what Coach Mathis preaching us every day. He works us. He real mean now. Don't get it twisted. Coach Mathis, he real mean, but it's tough love with him. It's tough love with him. And I appreciate it ever since I first got to Jackson. It's always been tough love, and I know he wants the best out of all of us.
That leads me right into my next question. I was going to say, man, how is it, to play for two NFL greats? You got your position coach. You just mentioned Coach Mathis, who's tough, but you got your head coach, who we can say is the greatest that ever, he might be the greatest athlete to ever play in the history of sports in general. A lot of people have him on the Mount Rushmore of athletics, but how is it playing for a Coach Prime who is your head coach, and like you said, Coach Mathis? How's that?
Coach Mathis, he played with my dad in Atlanta, so he always called me Little JB, clown me here and there. But just having Coach Mathis in your corner is a blessing. I feel like he brings the best out of me. Period. Point blank. I'm with Coach Mathis, talk to him almost every day. Extra film, extra work. He got my work ethic a lot better than from what I came from Florida State. And then you got Coach Prime. We all know what he brings to the table. We know what he does. He expects the best from the trainers to the players to the equipment to everybody. So having those two guys on your tail every day is great. And there's certain things that I learn every day that other people, I know for a fact other people don't learn. Two greats teaching me, and that can, that makes me better not only right now but the next level. The main thing right now is to build a young man into be a successful young man on and off the field. So that's their main thing. So without those two guys, man, I wouldn't be what I am today.
There you go, man. That's what Coach Prime, he added one. He said smart, tough, fast, and disciplined, but he added another one with character. That's one that, and you can tell he has a program. We had Coach Tim Brewster on here on the show a few shows ago, and he talked about, Coach Prime really having a real program and being a really good ball coach. So it's always good to hear that from the players, because you guys really are our eyes into kind of what's going on. So let me ask you this, though. We saw a clip about a year ago. You lined up against T.O. You know, we that kind of, I think that kind of went viral, man. Talk to us a little bit about that, man, because you look like you put a little hands on him, and he, you know, give us your take on how that went for you.
Short story. I was minding my business. You know, I guess him and Cedar's the one-on-ones minding my business, and someone, I don't know who made a comment. I don't know if it's him. Somebody said, "Oh, you scared of T.O.?" And I yelled out, I said, "I'm not scared of nobody." You know what I'm saying? I said, "I got my cleats. I had my tennis shoes on."
Yeah.
I thought I had my cleats in a backpack. So he said, "Go get your cleats." So now I got my cleats, you know, and if you lined up to T.O., first off, that's a Hall of Famer. You know, people don't get the opportunity to line up against a Hall of Famer, especially still in shape. You know, so you know, of course. I said 1, 2, 3. You know, one of them he beat me on a post route. I remember the ball was overthrown by the quarterback, but he had me beat. But the other two, I locked him up. You know, and you know, so he know what's up. He know what's up. But he's a great dude though. He check up on us from time to time, and like I said, he's a great dude.
Man, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. So for the season, we got a HBCU field schedule with one FCS opponent in Campbell for homecoming. Are there any games, maybe outside of FAMU, that you're really anticipating possibly playing in this year?
Yeah, I got 2. Southern, of course. Let me tell you, man. I played a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of hostile games. You know,
Speak on it.
Like I said,
Speak
Florida
on
State,
it.
Miami. That's the big rivalry. Nothing like Southern and Jackson State.
Okay.
I know we first walked into this, man.
I keep trying to tell people, but keep going.
Especially we went out there to return kicks and whatnot, and we almost got into a fight before the game with the band. Like crazy. The people, the police had to come break it up, and then you know we all know what happened after the game. But that's the other game I'm looking forward to, because what I'm hearing is that game gonna be more packed than homecoming. They say it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, so
it will be. You got a lot of fans that, now listen, I'm going to say this because I hope that our alums and our fans and supporters don't do this, but I already know how it goes. You got to call it like it is. It's Tiger Talk. I already know you got some people deciding, do I go to homecoming or do I go to Southern? So what a lot of fans are going to wind up doing, Isaiah, is they're going to go to homecoming. They're going to stay in Jackson the whole week so they can stay for Southern. Because if you know, most of us, I don't live back home anymore. But, you know, I plan on doing the same thing because that's the only way I'll be able to make that game. But I'm telling you right now, I'm predicting a sellout, because if you follow SWAC Media Day, they predicted Jackson State to come out of the East, Southern to come out of the West. And I'm telling you right now, there'll be some happy people at the SWAC office if Jackson State Southern get a SWAC championship game. All I'll say is this. Real quick story. Last time we played Southern in the SWAC championship game was in 2013 in Houston, Texas at NRG Field. We lost that game in double overtime because our running back, you know, shout out to Tommy Gooden. You know, I understand it was Clayton Moore threw the ball to him. He was wide open in the end zone. And he's, you know how you're trying to receive a pass and your momentum carry you backwards, and he stepped on the out of bounds line. He had no business stepping on the out of bounds line, bro. I forgive you, Tommy. It's 9 years done passed by, but I cried, man. I cried like a baby, man. It broke my heart because you don't lose to Southern, right? But then that was the beginning of a downhill slope for about 7 years for our program. And listen, man, it was tough. But in comes Coach Prime, in comes yourself and the rest of your teammates, and man, we get this thing turned around pretty fast. So big time, man. When you come out of that stadium, when you come out of that locker room, out of that tunnel, versus Southern, October 29th, you're going to see something that you're going to see similar. It's going to probably be more than what we saw. It'll be more all Cornish, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be standing room only in that Joker, man. Because I expect, they had a really good offseason. Coach Eric Dooley, who come from up under the Pete Richardson tree. He used to coach out in at Southern. So I think that team's going to be tough. But what was the other one that you mentioned?
Florida game. I'm back at the crib. I'm in Jacksonville. I got Yeah. So I got family
going to Jacksonville.
I got all around Florida, but you know, that's another game I'm looking forward to. A couple of guys. My guy Corey is over there. So it's
Corey Reed. Yeah, he's over there now. Shout out to Corey Reed. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Jalen Jones, we see you.
You know,
we know.
I'm not
telling
people, don't sleep with Bethune. We not sleeping with nobody, but a lot of people sleep with Bethune. That's a team that's sneak up on you.
Well, I think Bethune-Cookman's season last year was an anomaly. I don't think it was indicative of Coach Terry Sims and the program he's has had over the past decade and beyond. Really good program. I
Yeah,
expect to see them rebound. It's going to be a tough
of
game,
course.
but I expect Jackson State to come out on top. But nevertheless, I know we got 11 on deck for the season, 11 regular season games. We got 10 Jackson State games that's going to be televised. I think it's going to be 11 because I think that Jackson State game is going to get probably moved to something. I can't see them. Maybe it'll be a local channel. I don't know, or either JSU TV or cover it. We'll see how that goes. But how does it feel knowing that all of the games you're going to play this year is going to be televised? I know the stadium is going to be nice. It's going to be packed. But how does that feel knowing you'll be on
It should
TV
be expected.
for all of your games
We
this season?
like I said, we Jackson State. Let's call it what it is. We the most, got the most swaggy team right now in the country. Coach Prime, we all know what he brings to the table. You know how we talk. You know how we play. It's just who wouldn't want to watch us? Pretty much. I'll be telling people hate when I say this, but when we step on the field, people come to see us play. So that's really how I feel. Yeah.
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, you ain't told a tale yet, but I'll say this, though. One last thing I'll say before we get ready to close this out. We did see on IG, you guys got some more new threads over there, got some new unions. So you talk about being the flyest team. Somebody did something about a uniform. Listen, man, Jackson State, what we sitting at? 9 uniforms now? 9 or 10?
Yeah.
Man, hey, we've come a long way, man. And I tell you, they look really good, man. And so we'll be the home team in FAMU. So I got my hopes as to what combination we see. But this is what I do like about you guys and having Coach Prime leading and him being very meticulous about uniforms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't know what you guys are going to look like when you show up, but we know you're going to be fly. We know you're going to be clean. We know you're going to be uniform, and that's important. So, before we get ready to close out, is there anything that let me ask you this question. Let me say it this way, because the question I wanted to ask you really already addressed it. I want to ask you, what does success for 2022 look like for Isaiah
Personal
Bolden?
goals is to get
what
the
are some
recognition
personal
I
goals
feel like
for you?
I deserve. When I first came to Jackson, I was a lockdown corner, and then injuries happen. It is what it is. But my body's better. I gained plenty of weight this year, and I was gonna get a recognition I deserve as a DB. We all know what I can do as a returner. Like I said, I'm the best returner in the nation, pure point blank. But I feel like I got a lot of left on the table to show everybody. That I'm a shutdown nickel corner safety. I just really want my respect. To be a lockdown defender, pure point blank.
There it is. So before we close out, got a few rapid fire questions I always like to ask, try to let our listeners and those that are tuned in get to know you a little bit better.
That's fine.
Got nothing to do with football. It's just random stuff, So, but this is the list I came up with. Best rapper ever.
Okay, yeah. Tupac.
What's your top rapper? If you just get one.
Yeah.
Tupac. Yeah. Best rapper ever. You gonna go Tupac?
Top in the game.
Well, who's your best right now? Who you think top in the game right now?
Yeah, Gunna. Yeah.
Gunna got some issues, but hopefully Gunna can clear the situation and come on back and give us some more good music, man.
LeBron.
GOAT debate. LeBron or MJ? Who you got? See, I knew I like you, man. I'm a LeBron guy too, but I'm also a Jordan guy. So I'm not an anti-Jordan guy. That's he the reason who's the best? Well, I'm gonna ask you this and see what you say. Who's the best cornerback to ever play in the NFL? That's an easy one. There it is. So if you could do one or two things, if you can get a pick six for a touchdown, or a kick return for a touchdown, which one would you?
Kick return? It's something about it get real quiet. It get real quiet when I ball in my hands. It get real quiet, and then when I break it, the crowd go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't expect that one. I thought you was gonna say pick six, but you got me, man.
All right.
I got one more for you, a few more for you, and then I'll let you go. Fame,
you just give me the money.
Or both?
You the money.
Smart guy. I like that. I like that. Favorite food. Favorite food.
1 meal. Let me get.
You can have one meal. What you eating on?
I know, right?
Honey fried chicken. That sounds pretty good, man. Honey fried chicken.
Ooh,
All right, okay.
I'm gonna say.
All right,
Is
favorite
chrome
color?
a color? Is chrome? If not, I'm gonna go with maroon. Yeah.
Maroon. I ain't expect that one, but maroon. You said maroon. We gonna roll with it. All right, last question. How many Jackson State Hall of Famers can you name?
I can name two. Well, one and a half. I know his name, but like it's light skinned dude. Oh my gosh. We know Sweetness. We know that. And it's
I love
Sale.
Yeah, you gotta go Sweetness. We know Sweetness. You muted. I think you muted yourself.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
I forgot his name. Light skinned dude. I just know he played DN light skinned dude. I forgot his name. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You talking about Dr. Doom, Robert Brazil. Yeah, he's definitely a lot active around the program. I'll tell you this real quick. Dr. Doom had a lot to do with that game that we're going to be playing, the Gulf Coast Classic in Mobile this year. He lives down in Mobile. Shout out to Dr. Doom. I'll give you the other two. Lim Barney, he played DB, the same position. The original number 20 because a lot of people think the number 20 in Detroit was Barry Sanders, but it was actually Lim Barney. And last but not least, Jackie Slater, offensive lineman, played for the Los Angeles Rams. And hey man, you off the hook now, man. This is Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. We had our special guest in today, Mr. Zay Bolden. Man, I appreciate you for giving me some of your time. I know you got a lot going on personally. I wanted to catch you guys in while you was while you guys was in the break, and I didn't want to bother with you. Once you guys got ready in camp, because we want you to be focused. You got a big season coming up. But again, before we get out of here, go ahead and let our listeners and those that are tuned in know how they can follow you on all of your social media platforms.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Zay Bolden __. Twitter at Isaiah Bolden 23. And same thing for TikTok is Zay Bolden __.
All right, well, you heard it. It's the best kick returner in the country. I had the pleasure of bringing him on Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, and he didn't disappoint, man. And as always, go Tigers.
Let's go.
I love, I believe.